Hello, friends. I am Swapnil, and welcome to another educational video from 16 Levers. In today's session, we'll be exploring how to use multiple regression method to project service levels. On my screen, you will see week-wise actual offered volume, week-wise actual calls handle, the difference between calls offered and handle abandoned, actual phone AHT, actual occupancy week over week, and the actual service levels week over week. Let's say that all these parameters, abandoned calls, actual phone AHT, and occupancy, are directly dependent on your service level. That means any change in this parameter will directly affect your service levels. Let's call this parameter dependent X and our service level, let's call it Y. The first step is to check what is the correlation between dependent X with Y. To do that, I will use a simple formula known as correlation. I will correlate it with the service levels, freezing the column for service levels. So you will see abandon is negatively correlated at 93%, which means it is inversely proportionate with the service level at a very high level. Actual phone AHT is also inversely proportionate, and actual occupancy again is also inversely proportionate. Next step, once we identify the parameters which are inversely proportionate, next step is to run a regression model. For that, in your Excel, you'll have to go to data, data analysis, and search for regression. You this this box, you will have to select what is your Y range. As I mentioned, the parameter which requires to be projected is called Y, and parameters or inputs which are dependent, let's call it X. So we have selected input range for Y and input range for X. There is an option to select labels. I am not touching upon constant in zero and confidence level. The coefficient formula output, you can select three different options, but in this case I am selecting the output range in the same sheet. So this is the output range for coefficients. From this, what we are going to use is these components: intercept, and what is the coefficient calculated for abandoned calls with respect to the projected service levels, actual phone HTN, actual occupancy. Now, to check if the projections are accurate, you can use the same projections next to your actual volume. To do that, you will take your intercept plus bracket open abandon calls multiply by your abandon calls plus bracket open actual phone coefficient multiply by your actual phone plus actual occupancy coefficients multiply by actual occupancy. I will also lock the coefficients so that it can be used in other cells. So these are the projections as per the regression analysis. And you will see our projections are almost similar to what we have actually achieved. Now, for the future weeks where we have visibility to actual call offers, in your case, in your staffing or capacity file, this will be your forecasted numbers. This will be your handle capacity. Again, handle capacity minus your forecasted number minus your handle capacity will give you approximated abandoned calls. You will have your AHT projections and occupancy projections. Occupancy projections can be calculated again by using what is your head count in in those weeks. I will touch upon how to calculate occupancy projections in the concluding videos. Dragging the same formula will give you the projected service level for the future 4 weeks. Thank you for watching this video and keep optimizing.